It was like a threatening moment, wasn't it?
Lionel Luther threatening?
What?
Heavens
Never.
I beg your pardon.
I don't know. He was flirting.
I ended up putting it in my original contract that I would not wear the tights or put on the suit or the cape. And I tell you what, it was like episode 5, season 1. I read this script and like, Clark puts on the suit, and I'm like, call your attorneys.
Well. New York Comic-Con, how we doing? Are you having the best weekend or what? Come on. It is so great to be with you here at the main stage here at New York Comic-Con, and boy, do we have a great hour in store for all of you. You know, we're here at Comic-Con, and what is that known for, right? Pop culture, media, video games, comics, and superheroes, right? How many Superman fans do we have in this room right now? Superman has taken on many forms all over across the years, and back in 2001, there was a small show called Smallville, yes, that took the world by storm, and for 10 seasons in the early 2000s, captivated the world with its new take on the Superman storyline. And we're going to have 4 of the amazing cast with you here today. Are you ready to bring them out here? Well, I know you want to do this in a good way, so I want you to stand up on your feet and please welcome the cast of Smallville. We've got Tom Welling, John Glover, Kristin Kreuk, and Erica Durance. Anywhere you like, anywhere you like. Yeah. Look at this.
She's like, no.
Well, hi, guys. How you doing?
Swell.
Swell.
Well, Isabel, swell.
Absolutely. What a great welcome here in New York.
Amazing.
Yeah?
Hey, New York!
Well, it's got to be wonderful after all these years, you know, to come out onto a stage and all these fans that just were so connected to Smallville. When was the last time you guys saw each other? Let's kick it off with that. Has it been a while? I know you guys do these reunions from time to time. How long has it been?
I feel like I saw Erica a couple weeks ago at home.
They hang out. They're like
It's been
friends.
a couple
We're
years since I've
friends.
seen
We're
John.
actual real friends. So we saw each other for dinner a couple weeks ago. John took me out for dinner last week,
Oh.
which
Joe
was
Allen.
delightful.
Oh,
Joe Allen.
very
Well,
nice.
A
On
classic.
46th Street, I recommend it. Theater Restaurant of New York.
Very nice, very nice. Well, it's so great to have all 4 of you on here, and you guys are thrilled, right? So, Smallville, not such a small show in your careers, I assume, right? Yeah? We'll kind of go down the line, and what do you look back on the show? Fond memories? Tom, let's start with you.
Did you say farm memories?
Farm? Yes. Yeah.
What were some of
I mean, it
those?
was Kansas, you know?
I mean, the Kent farm was around a lot. I will say that the more the time passes, the more I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And some of you may know, and I know this sounds like a bit of a pitch, but there's a podcast that I do with Michael Rosenbaum. And
It's fantastic.
thank you. And I'm rewatching all these episodes, and all these horrible memories keep coming back. And actually, no. It's funny. It's kind of like when you know when you take a long flight and there's a layover and your flight gets canceled,
Yes.
but then you get to where you're going and you kind of forget about everything that happened in the middle. That's like watching the show. I forget about all the bad stuff.
That's really nice.
Yeah. I kind of remember the good stuff, so it's good. And
I like that you looked right at her and said, I forget all the bad stuff.
well, Kristin
You know?
understands. John, we all understand.
Of course, of course.
You know, it only took, 10 days to shoot 42 minutes of television. So there was a lot of stuff that you guys didn't see as we were filming. So as we watch it, it's fun to revisit it, and I think that enough time has gone by where I can enjoy it more. I don't think I could have done the podcast even 2 years ago. So, and Michael's an idiot, so it's a lot of fun. Kristin's like, yep.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Erica, how about you? How do you look back on the
I forgot what your question was. How do
Oh,
I
fond memories of the whole
Listening
series.
to
of
his
making
analogy
it.
about the airport. Well, again, I joined a little bit later, and I I was super hyper and excited all the time.
Yeah.
So I do really, I look back and I still think this is this experience that I never expected to happen in my life. And here I am on this great show, and I'm gonna ride this train as long as it'll go.
Amen.
And just love it. And so that was kind of, yeah.
Now, I hear you had quite the casting process. Listening to Michael Rosenbaum's podcast in preparation for this.
Did they talk?
Yes, it was a great.
Inside of you? Anyone inside of you?
Yes.
Wow, you're doing all his promoting for him. He
sounds
doesn't
like
actually
it.
have to be here.
Yeah, maybe he should have shown up. I'm going to start a GoFundMe page
You should. You should. But Erica, I
to
was
get
here.
him an airplane ticket.
He's really hurting. Yeah.
He's really hurting. He is
Really hurting with
really is.
podcasts.
But you had quite coming into a show that already was, thriving and moving along, and you had quite the audition process, right? And I believe you had mentioned on that podcast that the final sign-off was actually Tom, right?
We'll always argue about this, but it's true.
Yeah. Can you tell us a
You
little
know,
bit about
he's
that?
not one to mince words if he feels a certain way. But also, it is his show. So I showed up, and if he had, really hated me, he would have just done the, walk out.
didn't have-
He
no.
does this, puff-up thing, and then
Yeah.
he'll walk out and be like,
First of all, this is
and
not
I never
true.
would have gotten the role.
I don't know what anybody told you. They told me they had already cast you.
See, they tried to
I was on summer break, and they're like,
You
we
are
need you to
stuck.
come home 2 days, or we need you to come back to work 2 days early. I'm like, I'm not coming back 2 days early. And it became like a legal thing.
Sure.
And it was come back to read with you in the office of the production with Beeman. I remember that.
Knowing I thought, man, you were super pleasant.
Well,
Like
because
being there?
what choice did I have? As far as I knew, they already cast you. There's nothing I could do at that
That's how
point.
they tricked him into it, because he knew he was stuck. Oh, she's
I
already
think
cast.
Tom had less power than you think he did.
Thank you,
Says
Kristin.
Kristen.
Welcome.
You just took Superman
had a
down a
lot of
couple
power.
notches right there.
Thank you, Kristin. Keep
But
it
you
real.
did later. Later, you had that power.
I mean, no one told me I had it.
That was
I'm learning
smart of
this
them.
now.
John, I love you just sitting here just watching this little
Well,
show
when
that's
I
going on right
decide-
here.
Fascinating.
When I decided to cast John Glover as Lionel Luthor, it was a big moment, and I'm glad it turned out okay.
Yeah, what was that casting table like? Yeah, what was that? John, how did you get affiliated with the show?
My agent called me on a Friday, I don't know, Friday or Thursday or some day, and said, there's this show they're doing. It's about Clark Kent, or what turns into Superman, and explained what it was and everything. And somebody had dropped out who was going to play Lex's daddy. So they said, it's one scene, and you have to go up now. So and they might have you back. So I went up and did the one scene.
Yeah.
And then they tried to get me back several times, but I was doing other things that made them unhappy. So for the second season, they gave me a contract. Wow.
Well played.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys know this, and John has heard me say this before, but the character of Lionel Luthor wasn't supposed to be so great. He wasn't supposed to be around, and when they got John, then they're like, wait a second, we have something really special here. And I think that's when you finally get a contract. But because I controlled that whole scenario, right, Kristin?
You did.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, and we were all scared of you.
So scared.
Oh boy. Yeah, it was younger then, and there was youth on his side. But he's grown up to be a really swell fella.
Oh, that's really nice. I love this whole, the fun of the power of the casting of the show. It was like the unknown Superman superpower we never knew.
Yeah, I didn't want to cast Rosenbaum.
No?
No.
No, tell us why.
Well, basically his attitude, mostly.
Yeah?
I just didn't know if we could click. But, the higher-ups, took over and they hired him, and turns out it worked out all right.
It did. It worked out great. It worked out great. And it's been such a success for you. And I'm sure you have so many fans that still reflect on the series. Kristin, what are some highlights and things you remember from production?
It's funny, I think, because Tom's talking about rewatching the show, and I haven't rewatched it in a long time, obviously. But I remember so little. I was so scared most of the time. I was terrified for the beginning of that show. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like a really popular series. And so in that fear state, there isn't a ton I remember. But I remember riding horses and being outside at the farm and, sitting with people and chatting. And that's the stuff I remember.
All those farm memories, right? The farm memories, right?
Farm memories.
Wasn't there a scene when I kissed you?
We did have,
Kiss?
Did he kiss me or did it get close?
Anyone? Anybody watch the show here?
I
yes.
don't remember any tongues or anything, so it's a
No.
sweet kiss, I think.
It was like a threatening moment, wasn't it?
Lionel
Anyone?
Luther threatening?
What?
Heavens to
Never.
I beg your pardon.
I don't know. He was flirting.
Okay, call it what you will.
Absolutely. Well, of course, and I mentioned right before we introduced you on the stage that, Superman, the story, of course, had films before Smallville and The Adventures of Lois and Clark ahead of time. Did any of you, when preparing for these roles, specifically Tom over here, did you actually look, at those previous performances, or were you just going to take your own take on it?
You went into deep research mode, I bet.
Did you?
He definitely researched it a lot.
Who's the bully on the set?
Yeah,
John,
Erica and
anything to
I will
add?
tell you.
They're really being nasty to you, aren't they?
And funny enough, Tom warned me back that the girls don't like to talk so much, but you guys are doing great.
We are on fire today.
You are. It's a super Saturday, right? You keep going. It's great.
What was the question?
Did you research?
Did you do any
old
research
things?
on the previous incarnations?
The short answer is no.
All right then. All right then.
But in fairness, you get the part, and it is overwhelming. Like, you're on there, and all of a sudden you're shooting this thing.
I think there was. I saw that Alan Miles, who wrote the show, were taking their own liberties, and it was clear to me that researching other incarnations of this character just wasn't going to help, because we were doing something different. So obviously, like with Chris and being Superman, when people say Superman, I still think of him, and so that's. The scene of him in the diner. Yeah. The scene of him in the diner when he gives up his powers and gets beat up and then goes back and beats up the jerk. Like, that to me is like the Superman moment. But we didn't get a lot of chance to reference that in the show, and I think that was cool. I mean, it was literally like later where I realized that like Lana was an actual character. No, beyond like this show. I mean, obviously Lois was thinking Lionel and like. But like I was like, oh, because honest, I was so dumb. I thought they made Lana up for the series. I didn't know, and I'm glad they did. But
That was going to be my other question. Did you? It's a day of honesty, everybody. Day of honesty. Yeah, I was going to ask. Did any of you were you into the comic before this role came across your path?
No.
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 Well, there was only one
wasn't
little
not- I
cell
mean-
in the comic books of Lionel Luther, and he was all messy and with the pot belly and everything.
Right. You were very fit.
Yeah, you are very fit.
Yes.
Well,
He is very fit.
yeah, I had a couple of nude scenes in the shower. Yeah.
Foxy.
It made me very
You're foxy.
uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm not used to doing nude scenes.
in front of people,
Yeah.
on camera.
Tom had to sign off on it, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was my idea.
Yeah, I did a movie in March where now at 78, I did a nude scene.
Woo!
And they had to call Tom and to see. Yeah.
I own
And,
you.
and he came over once and he said, "Okay, Glover, take it off." So I felt better.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah. It was. You know what I think was so fun about it, and just kind of piggybacking on what Tom had just mentioned, a whole new take with the Superman story, the creators had pitched it to Warner Brothers, saying it's going to be a no flights, no tights type of show. I bet that was really appealing to the project, taking it, that whole prequel, that backstory of him.
I don't know if that ever meant anything to you guys.
It did to
The
me.
no flights, no tights, because I ended up putting it in my original contract that I would not wear the tights or put on the suit or the cape. And part of that is because I didn't want them to just all of a sudden put Clark in this outfit and have him run around and save the day. The show to me was a character thing about people trying to figure out their identities and their places in the world. And I tell you what, it was like episode 5, season 1, I read this script and like, Clark puts on the suit, and I'm like, call your attorneys.
Well,
I'm like, I'm not even gonna discuss this, because it's in the contract. And honestly, guys, we wouldn't have lasted 10 years if we put the suit on season 1. It would,
No, it was
True.
smart that you put it in your contract. It's so tempting to just jump to that at any moment. And it made the show focus on what it was supposed to focus on, which is really lovely. I didn't know you did that.
I was also like, John brought up nudity, and I appreciate that. One of the things we tried, and I know that my circumstance was different than yours, we
Yeah, I
tried
ruined
to
whatever
earn
that
it
was.
when someone had to take their clothes off.
Unless
And then
they
I
were
came
female.
in. And I was like, what do you want me to do? All right. You're like, we've been working so hard. I've been fighting the good fight.
A lot of pressure.
Oh my God. But you know, for myself, coming in when Lois isn't supposed to come in the mythology and all those kinds of things, and I just felt for myself, because there was a sense I was quite nervous. I did like the comics before. I loved Lois Lane. I was the nerd on the set. I really was. I really was. But what I liked about that is I got a bit of a get out of jail free card. So it was like, if they didn't like a specific thing or whatever, I was like, this is a different story. This is her finding her way.
Yeah.
I know she's not supposed to be here.
There's a freedom to not be
Yeah.
be beholden. Is that how you say that? You know big words.
yeah.
Be beholden.
Be beholden.
Be
Yeah.
beholden to
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. So
Sounds like an R&B singer, too. Ladies and gentlemen, be beholden. You know?
Be beholden.
Looking back, I'm sure a lot of folks out here would love to know, what were some of the best bloopers behind the scenes? You know, anything that was really funny or that really stands out to you that maybe folks haven't heard yet?
Anything with Michael.
Yeah, it's really
So
my
Really?
when I started working with him, I wanted to wring his neck usually, but then I realized he was being Lex so that I could, get pissed off at him, 'cause as a dad. So it worked.
yeah.
I saw it as an acting skill on Michael's part, because I'm very generous. Don't believe it.
I was saying, actually, when we were out for dinner last night, I was saying that I probably have already said this to you guys, but he's the only person that I left set. I swore at him, and I left set. Were you there for that? No,
I mean, you're looking at me. I was like, I don't remember this.
like, what? Well, in fairness, it's not him. It was just,
It's kind of him,
It's
though.
kind of him.
Like, not in a bad way.
But not in a bad way, because
he pushes.
it's part of his process to be comfortable, and he's in his thing, and he's doing his stuff, and that's great. But when you're coming in new, and if I was very neurotic, like incredibly stressed, I wanted to do well. If I dropped a line or whatever, I get in my head, I was beat myself up a lot. And poor Tom had to deal with that a lot, and he was very patient. But then I did a scene with Michael, and I was nervous because it was Michael, and I'd heard all the stories about Michael, and he's a really good actor. And so I go to get into this scene, and I'm having a really hard time with his dialogue, and he's just chatting with the cameraman and burping and stuff off camera. And so I yelled, and I swore, and then I walked off set. And I was sitting behind a truck, and all the ladies, actually Tina's here, she does our makeup, she was sitting with us. Where are you, Tina? Are you around?
There she is. Over
There
here.
she is.
Hi, Tina.
Anyways, we love Tina, and Tina was like, okay, what's happened? Because I had had a meltdown. And all of a sudden, around the corner, I'm so sorry. He goes, what did I do? And he had no idea what he had done. And he really didn't do anything. He was just being him. He was just living his life.
I
his
think
best
he
life.
was. I think he was nervous because he wanted you so badly.
Well, maybe.
Oh.
Let's go with your narrative. I like that one.
That's a better narrative.
Michael's process is he's very talented. He's a lot of preparation, but he's able to kind of goof around and keep himself relaxed. And then they roll sound and roll the camera, and he can jump right into it. He's not Lex Luthor. Like, he's a very different person in real life. Thank God. But I'm the same way. I would be a little more focused, but a little more quiet or just more like stop distracting me. It was the same thing. But he could just jump in and out, and it was a process to get used to his process.
Yeah. And it's an experience, right? If you do a lot more, like I realized I projected a lot onto that.
Well, he also, there was an episode called Hothead where Dan Laurie, I believe, played the coach. And I remember I was working with him, and he's like a real actor. Like he's one of those people that
It's so refreshing to have real actors.
No, but I mean, like, he was somebody that I grew up watching on TV, and here I am working with him. So it's cool. It's really awesome. And we were doing a scene. Rosenbaum's not in the scene. Lex is not in the scene. And Lex comes in, and he's goofing around. He's, hey, Glenn, farting over here, burping over here, doing this. And he comes over to me. He's like, well, are you done yet? Whatever. And he looks at Dan, and he goes, hey. And Dan goes, you're that guy. And Rosenbaum goes, F you. This isn't even your show. That's what he said. And I was like, whoa, it's not your show either, dude.
I mean, you signed off on Rosenbaum too, right?
Right.
Yeah, so.
But we had funny stuff with that. But I think my funniest prank that I ever did was with Glenn Winter, and I think Beeman was a part of it too, is when Lex plays the President of the United States and he has this big speech at the podium, they ended up writing a really poorly written 2-page speech for Lex because we knew we were never going to use it. And so we had him come in one day. He was already working later that day. We had him come in early. He put on his outfit for Lex Luthor as president. He comes up to the podium, and we're like, you want to rehearse it? And I don't know if I was directing or Glenn was directing. It doesn't matter. And he goes, why do I have to rehearse it? And I was like, dude, all right. You got the 2 pages down? He's like, pfft. And he just kind of left. So 15 minutes later, we're ready to shoot. He comes out, action. And Rosenbaum comes in. He's like, we're shooting the first one. We're shooting the first one. I don't want to waste any time. I don't want to do this too many times. The whole spiel, the Rosenbaum thing. So we're like, cool, we're ready. We got the wide, the close-up, and the medium, right? So anyway, I'm going too much into this. But so he comes around the stage, and he stands at the podium, and he goes, where are the teleprompters? He did. And I look at Glenn, and we're like, what? And he goes, I'm the president. I would have teleprompters. What is this? Somebody cut. And Glenn's like, cut. And we're like, what are you talking about? He goes, I didn't memorize that shit. He goes, I was just going to read it. And we're like, oh my God.
I'm a real actor.
I'm a real actor. So he ended up going away and we're like, just go do what you can in like 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
And he came back and he got most of it. And we saved a little bit in the episode.
Didn't someone put him in a green screen suit once too?
that was
you.
Glenn.
Yeah.
We made him show up on we had a stage, it was all green screen where we do this flying stuff. But we put him in a head to toe. By the way, like the only thing you could see was his face in a green leotard with gloves, the whole thing. Yeah. And we had him, he was in front of the camera, and he walks out.
Can you demonstrate this? Yeah.
Well, I just remember
please.
he walks on the set, and he's wearing a green leotard with only his face. And it's like skin tight, right? And he walks out, and he goes, what am I can't breathe, And Glenn was loving it. Glenn's like, no, just go on your mark, and put your hands up. Go like this. You're like smoke. You're smoke. And Rosenbaum's like, smoke what? It's a visual effect. It's for the next episode. Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Smoke.
So
If there's anything you take away from this panel, yeah.
By the way, I think he's going to love that he didn't even show up for the panel.
Right?
Half an hour talking.
So many stories about him, right?
Oh my God, that's
I know, but here we are just talking about him. He's
He'll
fun
love
to talk
that.
about.
That will make him happy.
Yeah.
But we all love him.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. Call Indeed.
Indeed, they can help you hire.
Yes.
I know that one. Talkville,
Right?
one of our sponsors. Thank you, John.
It's a couple of
Anytime.
sponsors he's thrown in already. Joe Ellens, everything. It's nice.
Athletic Greens, anyone? Athletic Greens?
So, how many of you out there watched Smallville for all 10 seasons? All 10 seasons?
Who here didn't?
Get out. Get out. Get out now.
Why are you cheering that you didn't?
Hey, there may be one fan out there that mentioned to me that he was so upset that the show is over that he still hasn't watched the last one.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. I don't know, one of the fans. He might actually be here. He still won't watch the final episode of the
Are you here?
They don't want it
Win
to,
here.
They don't want it to end.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Is that why?
Right back there.
You don't want it to end?
Ah. Well, that's
I
really-
tell you what happens.
There's a lot of smoke, you know?
A Lex-looking smoke.
whole thing of him on green screen.
Well, that's really powerful just to hear something like I don't want it to end. What's so great about Comic-Cons, and this is how the connection to a franchise is really special and really meaningful to folks out there. In your opinion, what do you think it is about Smallville that connected for 10 seasons with fans out there? What do you think from what you've heard in the past?
Family.
Family, yeah?
It's about family. Draws everybody in. We all have families.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was a special one because there was a very special boy.
I always think too.
Lex was very special.
He was. I think too, it's very much about like the weirdness that makes you special. And I feel like everybody has that desire that the thing that makes them kind of odd or different is the thing that actually sets them apart.
Yeah,
And I
and
think
wanting
it's
to fit in.
Yeah, an aspirational kind of dream.
Absolutely. Erica, how about you? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I think I can't really follow up on that. That was amazing.
You can. There's many facets
But-
to the show.
Kristen is often affirming me. It's a key point of our relationship.
Yeah.
People love the good versus bad story. They love people that are fighting for what's true and what's right, and they want to see good win over. And if life or the world in general is tough and difficult, or even just your own life, to sit down and watch something where you see goodness and truth and kindness, and it's simple, but it's a beautiful story, and people want to cheer for that.
That's very well said. Very well said. Tom, any thoughts?
Superpowers are cool, I guess.
Turns out you did have something to say.
Oh, yes.
For me, I think the biggest thing, I think a big part of it, because the character I played was was identity. Who am I? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do or not supposed to do based upon other people's thoughts or, identity was a big thing for me.
Yeah. Did you feel any sort of pressure to play Clark Kent? It's a very famous character, in comics and in, pop culture. Did you feel an extra pressure?
I don't know if I ever felt anything from like outside of like, hey, you're playing Clark Kent, don't screw it up. I never felt that.
Well, that's good.
I felt pressure to do my job. There's a lot of that. But I think early on, well, like I said earlier, we were doing something new where I don't feel like I was being compared, or if I was, I couldn't control it. And I had great people around me playing great characters in a well-written show, and I think ahead of its time with the visual effects and the stunts. I mean, people like to call it a drama, but dude, we did comedy, we did action, we did scary.
Yes.
We did everything. Like it was a fun show to be a part of.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm sure a lot of you out there have some burning questions, yeah? About Smallville, yeah?
Is that
you
guy
guys
going to
all right
ask
if we
how
do a
it
little
ends?
Q&A?
Of course.
Yeah? All right, so here we go. Just so you know, we've got 2 microphones out here. We got 2 mic stands, so we've got one on this side, thank you. Oh, and we got lovely spotlights here. So what we're going to do our best with the remaining time we have, about 30 minutes. So we're going to go back and forth, taking turns here. When it's your turn, tell us your name and then give us your question. And we'll start right over here. Is that Lex Luthor already? Right over here? Look at this. Wow. Michael is here.
Hello, Michael.
Wow.
Hey. Hi, well, actually, my name is Charles. I'm
Hi,
from
Charles.
Queens. How are you guys?
Great.
Good.
What's your question?
I'm really big fans of yours, and I gotta tell you, I was really excited when I watched Crisis on Infinity Earths, and I saw that Tom and Erica were on that. And Tom, I just want to say you killed it in Lucifer. I thought it was great.
Thanks. It was fun.
So here's my question. I really like seeing you guys. Every time I see you, I get a smile on my face. Do you guys have any upcoming projects, movies, TVs, cartoon shows, anything that I can watch?
They want more of you.
Yeah, Tuesday at 8 o'clock, I have a TV show that's coming out with Brendan Fraser.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I don't think he's going to get an Oscar for this one, or will I? But we had a lot of fun shooting it. It's like an action, crazy thing that we shot in Africa, lots of explosions, and it's a fun show.
What's it called?
It's called Professionals.
Cool.
It'll be on the CW on Tuesday, yeah.
Wonderful.
How about you guys? Erica, Kristin, you guys, John?
I have a, it's funny that you ask. I'm terrible at self-promotion. I know that there's a movie on Hallmark coming out on October 22nd about
Hey!
I don't remember what it's called.
She's done so many, she can't remember which movie of hers is coming out.
It's Christmassy.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I'll have a book review out sometime soon.
John, how about you? What's coming up for you?
I shot a movie in March in New Jersey. Oh, okay. Yeah.
They know where New Jersey is.
So it's by the guy. Did you all watch those Purge movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is by the guy. This is a full-length feature. It's going to play in theaters. It's called The Home. It's by the guy that did those Purge movies, who were frightening things. Yeah. And I play an off-Broadway actor from New York who lives at the home. It's a most, like an old age home. I don't know why they thought I could be that old. But anyway.
Are you doing nudity in this as well, John?
Yes. This is the nudity thing.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. And I'll be covered in
incentive.
blood. Too.
Wow.
Yes. It's very exciting. And it's Pete Davidson. Is that the guy?
Pete Davidson,
Yeah.
yes.
He's the star of it, and I'm the other star of it, sort of. I mean, but it starts out being very friendly because he's doing. He breaks into a government building because he's trying to end global warming. So instead of putting him in jail, they make him this, like the janitor at the home. Yeah. And then life at the home starts turning anyways, it's really good and spooky and great. And I don't know when it'll be out, but we're gonna, it's maybe, I don't know when, but just look for The Home.
Look
and
for The Home.
Get to see me nudie and bloody.
Isn't it
wonderful? Hardly wait.
Isn't it wonderful how incredibly uninformed we are about things? We just don't know. We don't know.
No.
We do function really well as adults in our own lives, but something happens.
We
when
do?
We come to yes, we do. That's what I say in the morning to myself in the mirror. You function well. You're fine. But something about when you go to a set or you go to work or whatever, it's, for me anyways, I'm like, they'll tell me where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the question out there. Let's head over to this side. Hi, what's your name?
John Carlo from Connecticut.
Hi, John. What's your question?
First of all, this is a surreal moment considering growing up with you guys and watching you every week. My question is, as the seasons went on, how much input did you guys have in terms of your character arcs as well as the arc of the story towards the end of it?
Good question.
I had a lot, I think, because they wrote a villain, and I wanted to make him human. And I think it finally worked because people would stop me on the street. This happened a lot and say, "We're trying to figure this out. Are you supposed to be a good guy or a bad guy?" And it was just one of the best compliments I would get because I made him human, and he wasn't a villain. He was a human being. So
That's awesome.
But they listened to me, the writers, and they picked it up and said, yes, this is making sense. I mean, what was Schneidi, your dad? When he died because we were in a fight together, and then I went on and wooed his wife. Now,
You're only human.
Exactly.
so was his wife. Oh, Lionel, he could do everything.
I think that it also, John is John Glover. He's, a decorated actor. I think it was a little different for those of us who were a little younger and a little fresher. John's opinion, especially at that point in time, carried a lot of weight because of all of your experience and everything that you've done, and
Shucks.
mine didn't.
I mean, John is a Tony Award winner, everybody. Come on, come on.
So for me, I got my scripts, I did my work, and that was it for me. I know Tom had more say towards the end there when he became a producer on the show.
Yep. Yeah, I coming on and sort of growing into producer and executive producer and stuff, I had more access to information about the show with those titles. Clark's journey was, I didn't have to complain a lot about Clark because Clark was very much reacting to most of the other characters. Clark didn't talk a lot. He just had to be everywhere all the time. And so a lot of times I'm like, does he really need to show up there? Like, maybe he got a phone call instead of having to come in on Saturday morning to film. Poor me. But I saw Schneider, Rosenbaum. I think everybody was able to speak up a little bit. Because what happens also in a TV show is, especially when it lasts so long, is the writing room will transition out as well. At a certain point, the guys who wrote the show and show ran the show are no longer part of it, and sort of like the younger people are now. And sometimes they just need a little help or conversation about what the character's trying to do, and sometimes you just have to say a horrible line because they need you to say it. So that's part of the job, I guess. But I know I know that when Erica came on and her energy that she brought to Lois, I remember they started writing in like disjointed sentences to try to break up what you were saying. And I remember you being like,
Oh, that's interesting.
and I remember you being like, why are they doing this? Tom, why are they doing this? You're a producer. And I was like, I don't know. And you're like, I can screw up these lines all by myself. You're like, I don't need these breaks and these, and I was like, tell them that. And I think you did, and I think they stopped doing it. So you were able to speak up.
End up happening too. Like when you first start, they write their character in their head, and then the more you do, they actually start writing to you. And so I think, like especially with all the little stops, that was just the way I talk.
Yeah.
Why sad about? I'll be sad about.
But I think also like being and like, Chris, I'm only a few years older than you, but we were both very young when we were on the show.
Very young.
And I didn't know what I was allowed to say, or I work 20 hours and then I drive 2 hours to work 3 more hours. Okay, I guess that's what you do. Yeah. And then later I'm like, wait a second, I think this isn't right. So it's a learning curve.
The flip of like the question you asked is also about like experience and time in the industry. And so when you sign on to something and you're lucky enough to be part of something so huge, the realization hits you as you're shooting it that is part of the deal you sign. You are part of something so much bigger than yourself in the vehicle. I mean, obviously it was your show, so you would have a little bit more to say in it. And so then if you decide, okay, I'm going to reinvest myself in the business, I'm going to do something else, and you go to your next project, you're going to go, okay, so some of these things I really would have liked to have a say in, and here's how I'm going to do it, or whatever. But usually when especially with the first one, you kind of just
you want to
jump in there and
you want to be I'm here to do a good job. I want you to like me. Don't fire me.
And it's the thing you earn. You earn being able to speak up, and you earn being listened to, I think.
That's why, like you said,
Yeah.
John
Yeah,
could go in
exactly.
and say, hey,
Exactly.
so that's not going to work. And everybody went, okay, sure, whatever.
Totally, absolutely.
Absolutely, John.
I think you struck a nerve.
Yeah. Brought up a lot, but that was a terrific question. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's head over here. Hi, what's your name?
I think if I may, I think real quickly what I'd like to say about that is, if anybody here is getting into this business or whatnot, I strongly recommend that once you're on set, that is not the time to have discussions about what's wrong with your character. It all should take place before that. And so I would encourage you guys, and hopefully you get to work with people who are open to those conversations, because once you get to set, it's too late. There's too many people there that are going to be affected. Yeah.
Got to get the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, hi, what's your name?
As an actor myself, Tom, I couldn't agree more with that statement.
Oh, good.
Oh, awesome.
My name is Michael. I am from New Jersey. Since Smallville continued on in the comic books, they had a comic season 11 and then little story arcs with the comics. After Smallville, the show, was there a time where you guys looked at some of the comics? And if so, Is there a particular comic book storyline that you would love to see the show tackle, and why?
I have seen the comic books, like at the table. I've signed them. I've never opened one. I really haven't. I have no idea what the stories are or anything. I know that in Smallville, one of the things I always wanted that never happened was to have a Bruce Wayne crossover. I thought it would have been cool for like Clark to come into the Talon and like Lex is sitting with somebody who gets up and leaves, and Clark's, looks to Lana and like, who's that? Lex looks really upset. I'm like, I don't know, I think his name's Bruce Wayne. And just that's it. That would have been, that's all we would have needed, but I thought that would have been cool.
That's awesome. Let's move it on over here. I want to try to get through as many questions as we can. Hi, on this side, what's your name?
Hi, how are you? Mike Raziuso, Staten Island, New York.
Great.
Tom, just quick, are you wearing your Smallville class ring?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So,
Thank you for the question. Next.
Very good. Let's hit it over here. I want to get more.
Tom, come on. All right, just quick. I'm just going to rifle through here. Everybody could agree that Christopher Reeve is the definitive Superman, but Tom, your Clark Kent, in my head canon, grows up to be Christopher Reeve Superman, and I would love to see. And I would love to see a post-Superman story, maybe a Kingdom Come, where you play Superman.
That would be
great.
fun. Yeah.
Erica?
I got to start working out, but yeah.
And what a great compliment.
They got good CGI. We can handle it. They got good technology.
Thanks. You're not that fat, Tom.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way.
I hear you. I get it.
Erica, you are the definitive Lois Lane. Like, best on screen, absolutely definitive Lois Lane. Kristin, still top 5, one of the most beautiful, elegant women of all time.
Top 5.
Top 5.
That's pretty good.
John Glover, outstanding theater actor and on-screen actor. Thank you, absolutely. Thank you all, guys. Love the show.
Thank you.
Man. Thanks so much. Let's bring it on over here. Hi, what's your name?
Michael. From Philadelphia.
Michael from Philly, what's your question?
You remind me of someone.
Really? Who?
Can't place it.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds?
Maybe.
Okay.
My question is the episode you did with the Christopher Reeve. What would that like working with that band?
It was great. Me and Greg Beeman, who was a showrunner at the time, we flew out to New York. We had one day of shooting with Chris. He was only supposed to be there for, I think, 3 hours. And I think he stayed like 6.5, where it was like, his nurse told him that because he was like, I don't want to leave. Because the idea was we were going to shoot all his coverage, he was going to leave, and then I was going to shoot all my stuff with someone else. But he wanted to stay with me. And it got to the point where his nurse said to him, I'm going to call the police. And he's like, on who? She's like, on you. Oh, you're done. You can't be here. Like, he really just wanted to be there. And I think it turned out great. I think the story was fantastic, that he was who he was and playing who he played. But I tell you what, I didn't know what to expect, but one thing he did not allow you to feel was sorry for him.
Right.
Which I'm not sure if people you know what I mean? There was no, and man, if you look at that performance, it's all in his eyes. I mean, he's in a wheelchair, he can't move, but it still comes across. So it was a very powerful day, yeah.
I worked with Chris before he had his accident, and then when I was in that scene, and I saw he grew so much as a human being because of that accident. Wow. He just blossomed himself, but so he was a remarkable man.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Excellent question. Thank you. Let's bring it on over here. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Devon. I'm from Brooklyn.
Great to have you here.
I remember watching you guys' show since I was like 12. And Kristin, you're on my top 2.
Top 2, Kristin! You've been upgraded.
So my question is...
Who's the second? That's what we want to know.
I'm not going to...
Okay.
So my question is, you guys have the longest running seasonal CW show regarding a hero. How does it feel to have paved the way for other shows like The Flash and
Supernatural would have never made it 15 years without us. That's how I feel.
100%.
I mean, Jensen Ackles as my coach and Lana's boyfriend, come on. That just launched his career.
I watch you guys' show like once a year. And I gotta say, it's like reliving it when I was 12. I remember watching the first episode came on randomly on the CW. I woke up at like 8 in the morning. And it was the show where Clark comes back, and it's not Clark, it's Kal-El. And he finally flies. And I'm like, oh wow, he's flying. And he hates flying.
You're speaking of how passionate you are about the series. If you don't mind me asking you, what is it about Smallville that just hits you so much?
Smallville was the show. It was just like, finally, it's a show that's not focused on Superman as the entity of Superman, the symbol of hope. It's a kid. He's like understanding, like, I have powers and I'm different, and I can't play football. I can't easily just get into a fight and defend myself because I know I'm gonna really hurt somebody.
And it's also a story about a man in his 20s and his high school friends. Parallel stories there, yeah.
I gotta say, my favorite episode is when I can't remember his name for the God of Life in Me.
Michael Rosenbaum?
No, not Michael.
John Schneider?
No, it's Bart.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember his name either.
It's when
Flash.
Yes, Flash. It's the episode where he leaves and he's like, if you can catch me, I'll stay. And I love the song in the background that plays. I have the song on my phone, actually. And it's like the smile that you give, and it's like there's somebody who's different. I can change somebody's life. Because you've definitely changed mine.
We can hear it in your voice, and it's beautiful. That's gotta feel great, right? You know, in the end, to hear something like that, doesn't it just feel great? Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. We have about 13 minutes, and I want to make sure we can get through as many as we can. So why don't we now go into like a rapid fire, okay? Question, response, we're going to go back and forth. Let's go on this side. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Evan Tansey from New Jersey.
Great, Evan.
Specifically for Tom and Erica, what context or backstory did you guys make for your scene on Crisis on Infinite Earths?
On what?
For the Crisis on Infinite Earths?
We didn't have one.
No?
No. I mean, sorry to disappoint you, but Clark lost his powers, and I was like, how did he lose his powers? They're like, we don't know. They're like, do you need us to figure it out? I'm like, no, I got it. I have no idea how he lost his powers or why or nothing. I just know he chose to lose them, and he was happy with his wife and his family. So that's kind of what I grabbed. And that was definitely not Lex Luthor.
There you go. Thank you. Yep, thank you so much. Let's head it over here. Rapid fire. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Patrick. I'm from Staten Island.
Hi, Patrick.
I just want to say I love you guys, and I'm so happy that everyone could be here that I love from the cast. You know, Tom, Erica, and you know, most importantly, Michael. But something that I wanted to ask for Tom: if you were ever approached, would you want to don a custom suit for something like an HBO Max series, something with a higher budget, something that could really show that where you've grown?
If it's custom, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
But the gentleman earlier said it didn't matter. It's all CGI. So let's do it.
I mean, we could put you in a leotard too. We could do that.
Well, Halloween's coming up quick.
Yeah.
I was thinking more Elvis, but you never know.
I mean, you could sign it off.
Yeah.
Thank you
You
so
never
much,
know,
man.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Right over here. What's your name?
Hey, I'm Ben. I'm from the Upper East Side.
Great.
So this show is a lot of great writing. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I don't know, as long as it doesn't involve putting on a suit and doing a lot of flying. Do you guys have any favorite lines from the show? I know it's been a little while. Sorry to make you think, but...
I always tend to go back, like the first thing that comes to mind is in the pilot, my name is Clark Kent and you're in Smallville. It might be reversed, the way I said it. I don't remember. But I remember filming that and feeling like I was like James Bond.
That's really cool.
And I just remember being like younger and like, this is awesome. I'm like on a TV show. So yeah, that one.
Kristin, do you have any favorite lines that you can think of or paraphrase?
I only remember really the lines that people like me to sign for them.
That's fine.
Because the lines are very, like those are lines that people really remember, and that's like, what are you, man or Superman? right from the pilot, yeah.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for that. Let's head on over here. Another question. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Alonso, and I'm from New Jersey.
Hi.
Gotta say, my favorite episode is probably Absolute Justice, with the Justice Society teaming up with the JLA. And so my question for everyone is, how did it feel that as the show went on, that they were able to introduce the various villains from Superman, like Zod and Bizarro and Doomsday and all
Bumblebee. I remember that one.
More tights, more people running around in tights.
Yeah,
I like the one where you had to
know.
wear the tights, Oliver's tights.
Yeah.
They had well, of course, they had to make a completely different costume, and I just liked watching you walk on set.
I know, because I'm so much
You
leaner
were
than
so
you. Are.
unimpressed. I was like,
I
"Is he
put
gonna
on
help me out? Is he
Justin's
gonna-"
suit, and it just was falling off of me. I was like, hey, this is my show. I want my own suit. They're like, yeah, we already made you one, idiot.
And really, everybody on set was like waiting for you to have to put on the suit. We're like, because he had to put it on you.
Because they all know I hated it.
And you were mad. Well, not mad, but you were hilarious.
I was not, I wasn't inspired. That's for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi, over here. What's your name?
Hi, how you doing? My name is Aaron from Mexico, and I have a question for Tom. If there will be another cameo like what happened with the Infinity Crisis, is there anything that you would like to do as Clark Kent or Superman or Kal-El? Anything that probably you had in mind for the previous cameo, but I don't know, probably that was...
Well, I think there's this thing that's coming up a little bit, even in like the podcast that I keep promoting. Whether or not...
What's its name? What's the podcast
Taco.
What would have happened if Lionel had found Clark and the Kents had gotten Lex? I wonder if there's a multiverse scene where, Lionel comes in and he's like, Clark! I told you. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what that scene would be? But that would be, I think, a different
Like the nature nurture episode.
Yeah.
You'd be like all mean with your powers.
And I could be bald.
How much was genetic?
Another GoFundMe page. Let's do it. What are you guys doing this weekend? You just want to shoot it on some iPhones in New York and then pitch it?
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right over here.
I'm Sebastian from New Jersey, and
Great. Is anyone here not from New Jersey?
I didn't watch your show when I was like in Colombia living. When I was 13, that's when I started watching your show, and it's probably the best show I've ever seen of all time.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to ask, which is each of your favorite episode?
Transference.
Great. Erica, how about you? Or Kristin?
Oh, go ahead.
I always say Lexmas. I like Lexmas.
Yeah. John, did you have a favorite episode?
Well, the hardest one was, what is transference? Is that when you and me? Yeah, because I had such a hard time playing him, because he doesn't have to do anything. He can just be.
Oh, you said it to my face.
No, but that's your strength, is because it's all there, and I feel like he did me brilliantly. I mean, he had little things that I would do and stuff, and it was so hard for me just to stand there, and I think...
You said to me, I remember, because you had been working that morning in the prison, and I got a call from James Marshall, who was like, hey, can you come in early today? And anybody here have a job? And your boss calls you and says, hey, you mind just coming in early today? Your answer is pretty much the same as mine. And he's like, no, John's playing Clark and blah, blah, blah. Just come in. So I came in, and I was like, hey, John, how you doing? And he looked at me like, oh, I need your help. And I was like, doing what? And he goes, playing Clark. And I go, what's wrong? I go, it's not, just don't complicate it. And you said, I complicate everything. And I was like, well, what seems to be the issue? And he go, you just don't do anything. You just stand there. And I was like, yeah, right. And there's a stillness that Clark had that I think, obviously you picked up on, but I just think that's such a cool, fun episode that's always my first answer. But
Remember when we had the scene where we had to flip, and you had to talk all the time, and I didn't talk, and you had to move?
no, I'm pretty sure I blocked that out.
It was brutal.
I don't like talking.
I was like, how do you just sit here? I like to drive the scene, and I always have to move, and I've got props, and I'm spinning around.
Just sit here and listen.
How do you do this? I'm going in my head.
We had a scene once where it was like Red Clark, and everybody was sitting around a big table, it was like, Lana and Lex and everybody, and I had this whole thing I was supposed to be saying, and man, that was the hardest day. I just wasn't used to talking that much. As silly as
Got no
it sounds.
problem now, I'm telling you. You're
But
doing
no,
a great
but-
job.
But we tease.
Yeah, and the other
tease
thing
a
I
lot, but
remember-
It's really hard to listen.
You just weren't used to driving the scenes. You were always the kind of on the back seat of the scene, and every other character was moving the scene forward. And that's a lot of driving a scene.
Great question, great question. Thanks so much. We're going to keep speeding up. We got 5 minutes left. We're going to try to get through as many as we can.
All right. My name's Ronnie. I'm from Long Island, and my question is in reference to the no tights, no flights thing. See, I own the leather jacket that you wore in the last season, like that red crimson. So my question is, what's your favorite outfit you wore over the years? Like the red jacket, blue shirt, Justin Hartley's Green Arrow outfit, the black trench coat with the black T-shirt, or the full-on leather jacket. What's your favorite, man?
No, dude, T-shirts. T-shirts and a jacket. And I remember, I sweat easily, and Clark's not allowed to sweat. And where we filmed, especially in the Kent stages, it was always really hot. And I just remember it would be like we would shoot the master scene, and I'd be in a T-shirt, jacket, and shorts, or I'm sorry, and pants and shoes. And then we'd get the master, and they'd go in tighter, and I'd take the pants off, and I'd put shorts on and sandals. And so I would be like Clark from the waist up. And I remember the first time that the other actors see it, they're like, "What the? Oh, all right, cool, that's fine, whatever. I get it. They don't see that. Okay, fine, yeah, because you can't sweat." So, yeah, the blur stuff was horrible. Yeah.
John, did you have a favorite costume that you wore on the show?
You always look so good, though.
Very dapper.
Yeah, they dressed me well.
They did dress you well.
But it was always sort of the same, except when I was in the shower that time.
It always comes back to the nudity with you, John.
Well, there were stuntmen in there. It was when I got stabbed in the shower, and they going like that, and it was like, and he'd go, "No, we'll hit him harder." Yeah. And I kept going, "No, I'm not one of you guys. I can't do that shit." Sorry, beg your pardon.
Sorry, you had it.
Well, I always felt that you ladies had more to deal with when it came to wardrobe.
That was mostly Erica.
Yeah.
My favorite outfit were my jeans and fry boots, and of course a top. Whenever I got to wear a top, that was
whenever you had a top on.
That was a red
great.
letters episode.
Did you go topless sometimes?
Not full on. No, it's CW.
Calm down, John.
Not
Calm
full
down.
on. Not full on.
But enough. No, there were so many different outfits, but I liked it when I was just
A
more
little jacket
casual.
or something.
Yeah.
A little something.
Yeah, the clothes are good, especially at 3 a.m. in the rain.
Yeah. Kristen, for you, favorite outfit? Anything that?
I feel like I liked my later years outfits, a little more mature lady outfits. Yeah, I liked those.
Nice. All right, we've got 2.5 minutes left. We're going to try to do our best. Here we go.
Hi, my name's Noor. I'm from Egypt. My question is, 10 years is a long time. I binge watched the show after it ended. I was a bit younger at the time. So, was there ever at a time where you're like, okay, I kind of want to exit, but I want to honor the fans and keep doing this? Obviously, you want to develop as an actor over 10 years. So, how do you feel about that? Was there ever another project that you wanted to do? How does that feel? Because obviously, 10 years is a long time for you guys. We're always excited about it, but how is it as an actor?
I think I heard your question properly, but we're so lucky to be on a show that runs a long time, and it's a really good opportunity to work on your craft. Obviously, it's limited. We worked, 9 months out of the year? 10. Tom says 10. But yeah, I think we were lucky. Is that what you asked? If we wanted to do other shows? Yeah.
Great. Let's go head over here. We'll try to get a couple more questions in. Hi.
Hi, my name is Rochelle. I'm from Queens, New York, in Astoria. Hi. John had mentioned a fan compliment he's received. So this is a question for you, Tom, Erica, Kristin, and John, if you have a second one. What has been the best feedback or compliment you've received from your fans or peers about your work, and why did it make an impression on you?
I mean, honestly, this show is very special, and I think it touched people in multi-layered ways. I mean, from the gentleman I talked to who did 2 tours in Afghanistan today, who's like, "Dude, thank you, because it was horrible over there, and this gave us a break," to people who are like, "Can you sign this for my dad? He's no longer with us, but I watched it with him all the time, and I have that memory of him." I mean, it's really cool. It's the kind of show that I think, multi-generational watchability that I think it gets into people's hearts. So
I concur with Tom. I think those exact things are the same for me. Being able to hear people's stories and know that it touched them, and it was a show that brought them like peace and calm, and it made them feel good and hopeful and at ease in their lives. I love that the show did that for people.
Yeah, it seems to be it's a collective feeling, yeah? Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. We are just about out of time here. Where can we see the rest of Comic-Con? Can we see you, meet you, take pictures real quick? Yeah, downstairs.
Yes. We're all signing and photos.
Signing, and I know John, I got word here that you can meet him right after this at booth 3945 upstairs for 1 hour after the panel. Isn't that amazing?
That I'm upstairs?
You're upstairs. You've been upgraded, John. Yes! Folks, can you stand on your feet and give it up for the cast of Smallville?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much to the four of you, and enjoy the rest of your New York Comic-Con.